Welcome to WKYT News. I'm Bill Bryant.
And I'm Amber Philpott. First responders were called out to a deadly ATV crash yesterday in southern Kentucky.
It happened as two teenagers were riding a four-wheeler when it ran off of Naniva Road about 6 miles east of London in Laurel County. WKYT's Phil Pendleton has more on what took place and the young life taken. Our top story at 6.
14-year-old Caleb Morgan was going to be a freshman this coming school year at North Laurel High School. School leaders released a statement telling us that he was a kind and sweet young man who was always willing to share a laugh and a smile with others. School leaders say they are saddened by the unexpected passing of student Caleb Morgan. The sheriff's office was dispatched when they say that a four-wheeler was traveling on Nineveh Road. It ran off the road and lost control, resulting in the death of Morgan. Members of the local rescue squad say they frequently respond to ATV crashes. They say inexperience is a factor in many of them involving young people. They say think before you act. Spend more time in a controlled environment where it's safer to learn to ride.
Sometimes we don't think about that. The riders don't think about that. We think we get keys and hop onto the ATV and have fun. There's more to that, and of course to that safety side of things.
There was also a 13-year-old injured in the accident. That person was taken to a local hospital where their injuries were said to be non-life-threatening. In Laurel County, Phil Pendleton, WKYT.
Laurel County school leaders say their crisis response team will be available to meet with students in the wake of this sudden loss.